What's up, guys? It's your boy EWE, aka Corrupt Alpha, back out with another video. And today, you know, I'm a big WWE fan. My content's mostly centered around 2K. I kind of dropped off from WWE the past couple years, 3 years maybe. You know what I'm saying? Ever since, I'd say about 2 years, matter of fact, since the whole Bloodline story started getting a little too repetitive. That's when I started dropping off from wrestling because Bloodline's only reason why I started getting back into wrestling in the first place. But today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be saving WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Um, WWE, they're in a pickle right now because, CM Punk's injured. Seth Rollins is kind of injured. You have The Rock that just came out and challenged Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So this is the way that everything can still happen. You get every little piece of basically everything, right? Everything that happens still can happen at this show and nothing gets messed up. So, first order of business that we're getting to is I think that the the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, I think that they should drop the tag belts to probably Champa and Gargano DIY. I believe that that is what should happen because the fact of the matter is I think they should have won it. What was it, 2 weeks ago or a couple weeks ago back on Raw, but they didn't. So for first order of business, this is what needs to happen. Um, Second order of business, I want Gunther to drop his belt to either a returning Sheamus or to Chad Gable. And I think that you have maybe Chad Gable versus Gunther, and then that sets up a match where, Imperium's beating up Chad Gable, and then Sheamus comes out, bro kicks all of them, says he wants Gunther at Mania, set up a match right there, and then you could still do Gable versus Gunther after Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser turns on Gunther, right? That's something I think you could set up there as well. Um, this fixes the Intercontinental Championship and the Logan Paul situation. I don't think Logan Paul. I think there's a slight chance he will not carry this to WrestleMania. Do I hope he does? Yes, because I want Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the champion. Okay, for the championship, United States Championship. That is. So that's our mid card out the way. Now we're gonna go ahead and get on to the women's matches. So for the women's matches, you got Bayley versus Io, of course, at WrestleMania. So I think Bayley should come out on top. I think you have Dakota Kai and Asuka. Um, am I drawing a blank right now? Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane come out, and I think you have referee get knocked down or any type of situation like that, and then Asuka, kind of like what Bayley did this past night on SmackDown, how she got a metal pipe and beat the shit out of Asuka and Io. I think that works nice. Um, but I think you do that situation, and then you have Bayley win the title. I think you don't get Dakota involved. I think Dakota stays out of it, right? You have Dakota Kai stay out of it, so she's not really picking her side. And then I think you have next week on Raw, you have them turn on her, and then she kind of joins Bayley, and then you can go with that from there. You have Dakota and Bayley on one brand, and then you have Asuka, Kyrie, and Io on another brand. That's what I think you should do with that match. Second match, Rhea Ripley. So this is why I'm at right now with the Rhea Ripley thing, right? Rhea Ripley can either go two ways. They can give her this god awful match that's gonna happen. If I had to guess, probably at Elimination Chamber with Nia Jax. Do I want that to happen? Of course not. Do I think it could happen? I definitely do. I do think that they could do that, but I see them more of pulling a Becky versus Rhea. Don't know how that would go. If they do pull Becky versus Rhea, I'm hoping it's a um like cheating tactic or something like that, but I don't want to do that for WrestleMania. So I just hope that Rhea picks up the win over Becky for that match. And then if they don't go that route, the route I would go is Rhea versus drawing another blank here. Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill. I think you have Rhea versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, or I think you have either that, or if you don't want to pull the trigger on that now, I think I think either way, if she faces Becky, she should win. And I think she should drop the belt at SummerSlam to somebody that's, maybe Becky again. I just don't think that WrestleMania should be Becky's night. There's not really big of a push. She just lost to Nia Jax, and the fact that you have Rhea go beat Nia Jax and she not beat Becky, it's kind of a little confusion on how you can beat somebody who beat the person you lost to. It doesn't make sense to me. Should make sense to anybody else. I think you have Becky going a little push after WrestleMania. She wins that SummerSlam. That's what I would do. Okay. Long-term booking for that, but it pays off, and I think that you should have Cora Jade go number one in the Women's Royal Rumble next year and win the whole thing, and then face Becky or hopefully Bianca. I want Bianca to win the title by that point, either of them, and either of the titles, and they got uh, Jade Cargo versus Bianca at WrestleMania, kick-ass match, and then of course Jade coming out with the win on that. Planning weeks and even up to a year ahead. So now you got the matches that everybody here is really drawing up confusion for, because everything right now is up in the air except for Bailey versus Io. Everything else is up in the air, right? Um, so this is what I would do. You have we're gonna start with the Seth Rollins match first because this is gonna take the least amount of time. So you have Seth Rollins, right? I would put Seth Rollins either versus, I believe it's gonna be Drew McIntyre, but if you want to have Gunther drop the Intercontinental Championship belt before WrestleMania, Seth versus Gunther. But I think long-term storytelling, this is my point of view. You have Seth versus Drew. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, okay? So Seth Rollins, he goes on to try to main event night one of WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre wins the Elimination Chamber, faces Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Okay, so now you got that. Seth Rollins does not lose the belt to Drew. Instead, you have Damian Priest come out and lose the title or Damian Priest comes out, cashes in his Money in the Bank, and you have him pin Drew McIntyre. I think you have Seth Rollins about to win, and then you have, Judgment Day or anybody come out there distract the ref, and then I think you have Dominic, or preferably Dominic in this situation because it's more of like a little ratty thing to do, but you have Dominic come in, hit the Money in the Bank briefcase on the back of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is, agonizing pain, and then Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank. South of Heaven, or that little Razor's Edge on Rollins, something that makes him land on his back. Rollins rolls out the ring. Drew McIntyre is down. Drew McIntyre gets up, tries to fight back. South of Heaven to Drew McIntyre, or the little Razor's Edge. 1, 2, 3. He pins McIntyre, wins the championship. Right now, listen. I'm sure thinking Damian Priest should not be a world heavyweight champion. Well, this is not going to last for long. Okay, we have Damian Priest win the title. You have him feud with Drew McIntyre. So this we're going to play like this little, Seth Rollins injured. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have him come back for a little while. Drew versus Damian is going to be the feud going in all the way up to SummerSlam. Okay, you can even have Drew be the reason that they lose the tag titles on the next night of WrestleMania. You could do that. You could do whatever you want to do with that. But if you want to build more animosity and more intensity, this is what I would do. Have Drew versus Damian. Okay. First match happens. Dominic and Finn Balor comes out there, distracts him. The usual Judgment Day shit. Drew McIntyre gets pinned, low blowed, whatever happens, he gets pinned. He loses the match, loses the first match. Then SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. At this point, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, everybody else has done turned on each other. I think Damian Priest, you know, outlines himself from being bad to being more towards a face. So you got Finn Balor. This is what I think you should do. Finn Balor versus Damian at I forgot the name of the pay per view. I think is it Bash at Berlin maybe before SummerSlam. I think it might be that. But you have them do their little split up breakup or whatever. They kick Damien out Judgment Day. Then you got Damien versus Drew McIntyre. No, there's nothing. You got no Finn, no Dominic, no Rhea to break it up, no JD, nothing to break up the match. Drew McIntyre wins the match. It could be. I want him to win the match dirty. I want him to low blow Damian Priest, or he can win the match clean. Does not matter to me. I got Drew winning that match. He takes the title all the way till WrestleMania, okay? And then you have CM Punk come back. I don't think CM Punk's gonna come back uh, after WrestleMania or till WrestleMania, but I think you have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble next year, okay? Because you gotta think this is a year away. A year away. It takes 6 months for his injury to heal. I think you have them split up by the draft, okay? When the draft is, I think you have them split up by the draft. Boom, you have Drew McIntyre, the World Heavyweight Champion. You have CM Punk over on SmackDown. Then you have him win the Royal. Say he wants Drew. Drew. So he said as soon as he comes back, he wants Drew. He cannot have Drew if they're not on the same roster. Okay. Therefore, he waits till Royal Rumble. I think you have him come out number 27 or number 30, and then you have him win the whole damn thing, go on, face McIntyre at WrestleMania, and then I think that next year, not this coming year, but next year for SummerSlam, you have him face Rollins in the main event of SummerSlam for the title because Rollins never got pinned. You got that little thing. You might got Punk versus Rollins, or you got Punk and Rollins on SmackDown for the draft. This is what I would do. Punk versus Rollins on SmackDown for the draft, and then Drew on Raw. That's why you have everybody split up except for Rollins and CM Punk. CM Punk is still trying to climb his way back to the top. You know what I'm saying? Beating people from the past. It could be anybody. And then Rollins says, "How about you be a man, fight me at SummerSlam for the title?" You know what I'm saying? The title that I never lost, the title that he got pinned for. They had that little match, 5-star classic. That shit is wonderful. Now, that's long term booking for that. You know what I'm saying? Then that kind of drops off. Now, on to everybody's favorite match. Everybody doesn't know what's really going to happen. You got Roman versus Rock. Okay? So you could go one or two ways with this. You can go Rock versus Roman at night one of WrestleMania, or you can, just fuck it all up. Either one doesn't matter to me. But Rock versus Roman night one WrestleMania, either the pre-main event or the main event. If you want to give the World Heavyweight Title Championship a main event, you do that. Rock versus Roman main event of night one is what I'm gonna guess because now the new rumors coming out that Rock is kind of in a power trip right now. Rock versus Roman main event of night one. Winner faces Cody Rhodes the very next night. Okay, so boom, this is what you do. Roman beats Rock. Of course that's gonna happen. Roman beats Rock. I think there should be no shenanigans going on, no tribal chief, head of the table, Solo Sikoa bullshit. I think you have Roman beat Rock clean, okay? And the way you can play into that is he can't have anybody to help him because it's tribal combat, but it's nothing like Jey Uso because this is an elder. The Rock is an elder of the tribe. Um, so you play into that. Roman wins, okay? Roman wins that match. Then very next night, Cody says, I never said, or you could say, I never wanted you at the night one of WrestleMania. Declares for night two. Technically speaking, he never said what night, so therefore, hearsay, whatever the bullshit you want to say it is, Roman can still fight Cody at WrestleMania night two, main event. So you give Cody this angle of he's finally going to finish the story. You know what I'm saying? He gave The Rock the chance or whatever. He's finally going to finish the story. Then you have Cody versus Roman. What I think should happen during the match. This is a little more in detailed because this is the match that everybody's really focusing on. You have Roman versus Cody. In detail, you got Roman versus Cody. So this is gonna how the match should go. We're gonna get in the final straw of the match. Nobody's outside. No Jimmy. Jay and Jimmy are gonna be out because they already had a match earlier that day. You know, the 1v1 that we know is all coming. So you got that. So this what should happen. Roman spears Cody. 1, 2, kick out. Roman then spears Cody again. 1, 2, rope break. Then you have Cody get up. He gets stuck in a guillotine. He gets out of it. He somehow counters it into a crossroads. Crossroads 1, 2, kick out, right? So the two spears can come whenever, but when he hits this guillotine in the middle of the ring, Cody has nowhere to go. Then that's why I think you should kind of give him like this, him breaking the legs off of him and doing some type of flipper twist to try to get to him, lift him up, and then crossroads. Okay, pins him 1, 2, kick out. Of course, everybody knows it's gonna be a kick out. Then Solo comes out. He distracts. He sees the ref in there. Then Roman and Cody keep fighting. Solo still outside the ring. Roman keeps fighting with Cody. They're fighting. They're doing whatever. Then big match spot happens where Cody does a disaster kick or crossroads or any move. Then or no, not crossroads. I mean Cody Cutter and somehow gets him to a crossroads, right? Another crossroads. 1, 2, Solo pulls the ref out of the ring. Okay? Solo pulls the ref out of the ring. You got all this going on. Then you have if this is just me fantasy booking it, you have Dustin Rhodes come out from the crowd, beat the living shit out of Solo. The referee gets back in the ring. You got Cody looking over the top rope smiling. Roman goes in there for a spear, and the arm that's gonna hit Cody's gut, he uses that arm as leverage, kind of like the finisher in game where he goes for the crossroads. He used that arm as leverage, get to him, crossroads. 1, 2, 3. That's how Cody should win the title. Okay. Then, then we don't see Roman. We don't hear of Roman. Paul Heyman's not on TV. Nobody's on TV. Whatever. Then Roman comes back SummerSlam. He says, "You had to fight me on a day where I fought the night before with one of the greatest to ever do it. I want my rematch." He comes back at SummerSlam to do this, okay? Because the reason why I want him coming back at SummerSlam to beat up Cody is I think that Cody should have a feud with Solo. Cody has a feud with Solo for trying to interrupt the match. You know, Roman's gone. You know, they kind of, poke fun at the fact that, where's your tribal chief at? Boom. That's all you gotta do. Solo versus Cody at the pay per view after WrestleMania, Backlash or whatever I think, and then you have that again at the next pay per view. Cody wins both times. No Jimmy Uso out there to help because Jimmy's gonna be gone uh, for a little while after his loss to Jay. I think that Jimmy needs to win more than Jay. I like Jay more, but still. Point is, you got all that going on, and then I think that you have Roman come back after SummerSlam, after Cody beat up Solo, and Solo's in the middle of the ring, and he's in the corner. He's just looking at Cody on the top rope with the championship celebrating. You have Roman come in a hoodie, beat down Cody in the middle of the ring, look at Solo, walk out of the ring. Paul Heyman meets him at the ramp. Boom. Set up a good story for the next pay per view. Roman versus Cody, and then you now have Cody beat Roman again because now Roman has nobody, and now he has no thing of, oh, you beat me on a bad night, you cheated to beat me, whatever the case may be. He has no excuse to lose this time. You have Cody and Roman shake hands. You don't have them shake hands, whatever the case may be. Cody's probably gonna go for the handshake, but it doesn't matter if you have them shake hands or not. Boom, the story's finished. Cody still has a title, but the story's finished. You know what I'm saying? Between him and Roman. This is how you should book all of this if WWE was smart. I understand what they're doing with The Rock. It's just storyline wise, it's not making sense. Cody should finish his story at Mania Why would he finish his story at SummerSlam for a storyline that's been going on for over a year now, since last Royal Rumble, and for it to go on past a year, like almost a year and a half mark, is wild. For Cody to say he's gonna finish the story, win the title, and then for the only title for him to not get, Cody's not going to take. Why would Cody face Seth Rollins at Royal Rumble? Somebody who's already beat what 2 3 times. Why would he fight him knowing it's an easy win? Cody's gonna go for what he lost in the first place. He lost to Roman Reigns because of Solo. It won't happen again because now he has somebody by his aid. Like I said, hopefully it's Dustin, but you can't get Dustin out there for the one time because Tony Khan and AEW, all that little thing going on. If you don't got that, then you have Jey Uso come out and help, or you got Rikishi come out and help. You know what I'm saying? Either or, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You have kind of Rikishi turn on Roman saying, this isn't what the bloodline was for. Whatever you want to do, to make it realistic. But if it's not Dustin, I'd have Rikishi stop Solo from trying to help Roman. That's what I would do. But at the same time, I'd still have the feud going on between Cody and Solo. This way, Rock versus Roman's still a go. You got long-term storytelling between Seth and Drew, Seth and CM Punk and Drew. You got long-term storytelling between Cody and Roman, Cody and Solo, and later on in the future, Cody and Randy in the future, which that's a video for a whole nother day. But anyways, this is how I'd book WrestleMania night 1 and 2, at least the major matches. I would have. I didn't talk about this earlier. I would have Jimmy win the match against Jay via like not being aggressive or being aggressive like Jay is not. I think Jay kind of gives him pity or whatever. They hug in the middle of the ring. Super kicks Jay in the back of the head. Wins the match 1 2 3. That's match. That's game. That's what I think should happen between them. But I do think he should be too banged up to continue throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, or you just have Roman say, "I don't want you there at ringside." But this is how I would book WrestleMania. This is, in my opinion, the only right way to book WrestleMania. I've seen some other theories where I was like, that's not bad. But the only way to do Rock and Roman and still do Cody and Roman without long-term storytelling is this way. So if y'all like the video, like, up, subscribe, whatever. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.